Hello everyone, Bhavya this side from JNtech Networks. So today we are going to see variables, variables, data types, naming conventions, or we can say that rules for naming the variables. Okay, so let's start. So what are variables? Basically, variables are the container for storing a value. Okay, so basically, variables are the container for storing the values. For example, let's say A is equal to 10, B is equal to, let's say, Python. Okay, so A is a variable value here, and A is a, sorry, 10 is a value here, and A is a variable. Python is a value here, and B is a variable. So we are assigning A value to a variable A. Basically, we are assigning the value 10 to variable A. And same as we are assigning the value Python to variable B. Okay, so with the help of this assignment operator, so we are just storing the values inside this variables. So these are known as variables. Let's take an example here. Is equal to 10, and then we have B is equal to, say, better. Let's print 10, sorry, A, and then print B. Right. Okay, now we have 10, and then Python. The value of A is 10, and the value of B is Python. Okay, so basically, we are assigning the value 10 to variable A. So A is a variable here. Same as with B, Python is a value here, and B is a variable. Now there are some rules for naming of variables. Like you cannot name anything to these variables. Like you cannot name like anything to your variables. Here are some naming rules you have to follow. Let's say, so we can set a naming conventions for variables. Naming conventions, or you can say that rules for naming the variables. Okay, so first rule, the variable cannot start with the number. For example, let's say one num is equal to 10. So your variables cannot start with number like number. Okay, so your variables cannot start with numbers. Second rule, but one second, but you can use number in the middle or at last. The variable. Okay, for example, like num1 is equal to 10. So you cannot start your variable with a number, but you can use number in the middle or the at last of the variable name. Okay, so this is right. Second, we have spaces are not allowed. Spaces are not allowed while naming variables. Okay, for example, let's say full name is equal to language. So you cannot use space while naming the variables, but you can use underscore in place of spaces. For example, full underscore name is equal to in Python and then language. Okay, so this is wrong. You cannot use spaces, but you can use underscore in place of spaces. Third, reserved words are not allowed in Python. For example, let's say reserved words are like which have a special meaning for the Python interpreter. Okay, let's say print, if, else, elif, for, while, and, or, etc. So these are the reserved words which have a special meaning to the Python interpreter. For example, print is used to print something or it is used to display something. Okay, so print is a reserved word for Python. You cannot use is as a variable name. For example, let's say print is equal to Python. Okay, so this is the wrong practice or this will throw an error. You cannot use reserved words for as a Python variable. Okay, fourth, always you can start the variable name with uppercase characters, okay, lowercase characters, and with underscore. Okay, so you can start your variable name with uppercase characters, lowercase characters, and underscore. For example, let's say full name is equal to, we can say that name is equal to Python. Then we have name is equal to Java. And you can also use underscore name is equal to PHP. Okay, so you can start your variable name with uppercase. You can start your variable name with lowercase characters, and as well as you can start your variable name with underscore. Fifth and last, always name your variable so basically, always name your variable related to your value. For example, we have a value. Let's say we are taking a number from the user. It's a 10. We want to store a number in a variable. So let's say num1 is equal to 10. So basically, we are storing a number. So that is why we are just using num1 as a variable name. Okay, let's say I want to store someone's age. Okay, so age is equal to 18. Okay, so 18 is a number which is stored in the variable age so that anyone can understand. Okay, so 18 is not a simply a number, it is just an age of someone's. Okay, so I always name a variable related to a value. For example, language is equal to Python. Okay, or we can say that computer underscore language is equal to Python. Okay, or we can say that log underscore language is equal to assembly. Okay, so always name your variable related to your value. Whatever you are storing inside a variable, name according to that. Okay, so these are the rules of naming the variables. Now, let's see what are data types. So, data types are the values which you are storing inside a variable. Let's say we have first we have strings. So basically, any character or any combination of characters, any combination of characters that are inside single, double, and triple quotations are known as strings. For example, any combination of characters that are inside single, double, and triple quotations are known as strings. For example, let's say Python, Java. You can see that. Okay, so these are the double quotations, these are single quotation, and these are triple quotations. So any character inside the quotation are known as string. Now these are the characters like the alphabets. String can be numbers, like let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for us, they are numbers. Okay. But for Python interpreter, they are strings. Like they are the characters only because they are inside the quotations. Okay. So you can store numbers inside double quotation, single quotation, and triple quotations also. So any characters like special character, numbers, anything inside the quotations are known as strings. Okay. Second, we have numbers. Numbers in data type. In numbers, we have int, float, and then complex. Int means non-decimal numbers. Float means decimal numbers. And complex means the combination of real and imaginary number. Combination of real and imaginary number. Okay, for example, int. Let's take an example 12. Okay, so these are the integers. Okay, any non-decimal numbers are integers. Now float. All the decimal numbers are float type. Okay, float data type. Let's say okay, so these are float data type, float numbers, or we can say that floating point numbers. Then we have complex number. Let's take an example. Let's say 1j plus 12. Okay, or we can say that 11 plus 12e. So 11 here is a real number and e is a imaginary number. Okay, so these are the example of complex integer and float numbers. Third type we have Boolean value, which is known as Boolean data type, which only contain two values, true as well as false. Okay, so first let's see the data types. Now, suppose let's say num1 is equal to 12, num2 is equal to 48.2, and then their name is equal to say Python, and let's say value. Let's take any variable name. Rules is equal to 2. Okay, now this complex number num3 is equal to 1e 12 plus 2e. Okay, now num1 is a integer data type. The integer data type 43.2, it is a float data type. Python, it is a string data type because it is inside quotations, double quotations. It can be inside single quotations also, it can be inside triple quotations also. This is Boolean value. Always remember whenever you are using the Boolean values inside Python, you have to use T should be capital of true and false should be capital of false. Okay, like you cannot write true like this. T should be always capital as well as in the false, F should be always capital. Then only they are known as, they can be called Boolean values. Then this is complex values. Okay, now let's see the type of the data type we are storing. For example, print type and the name of your variable. Let's say number. So here type is a function. Okay, which tells the type of the value your variable are storing. Let's say num1 is stored in the int type. So it will print int. Let's see. Num1. Okay. See. Plus int. Okay. Then we have, let's check for all the variables. Print type num2. Print type of variable num3 is storing. Then we print type of name and then print for the boolean value type booleans. Okay, let's run it. See, so num1 is storing int value, num2 is storing float value, num3, which is this, is storing complex value. Name is storing string is string value, and bools will storing boolean value. Okay, so you cannot name bool here. Okay, this will throw an error because bool is a word. You can use bools or you can use bools, etc. But you cannot use bool simply bools. Okay, so these are the main three data types. Now we have, let's perform some operation with the help of data types. There are others data type like list. We have dictionary, we have set, tuple, frozen set. Okay, these are other data types we will discuss in the next video. So now let's perform some operations with the help of data types. Okay, let's say A is okay, num1 is equal to 10, num2 is equal to, let's say, 12. Print num1 plus num2. Okay, so this will add the values of 10 of num1 and plus num2. Now let's say we can also print the values directly, like 10 plus 30. Okay, so we can also add the value directly, or we can also add value by calling the variable name. Okay, now let's concatenate some strings. Let's say name is equal to Python. Let's say second underscore name is equal to name. Now print name plus second underscore name. This, okay, let's run it. So with Python language, see there is no space between Python and language. So we can use, either you can add space in here, sorry, in here. Okay, let's print it. Okay, before L, or you can add space after N. Okay, in here after N, or you can add space in here, like plus, okay, and then space and one space. Okay, so whatever you add inside the quotation, it will display as it is. Let's say you add many spaces. So this will print many spaces in between. Now whatever you use, like suppose you add many spaces after the quotations, let's say from here. Okay, so this makes no change because these are outside the quotations. Whatever you put inside the quotation, this will make change. So whatever, like whether you put any space in here, this will makes no change. So for adding space or for adding anything, you have to use the strings. You have to write inside the quotations. Let's say you have write here hi. Now this will throw an error because this is nothing for Python. Okay, Python cannot understand this HII. Okay, is not defined. Now if you want to write hi, so you can use quotations here like this. Okay, Python, hi, let's add some space here and then here. Okay, Python, hi language. This is known as concatenation. Okay. This is not the same as addition. This is concatenating the strings. Okay. This is concatenating the strings. And then we can run it. Python high language. Okay. Now let's take another example. Let's say num1 is equal to 10, num2 is equal to 5, 6. Then print num1 plus, or let's say subtract num2. You can print num1 multiply num2. Print num1 divide num2. Okay. Again print num1 divide integer division num2. Okay, so this is subtraction, multiplication. This is float division. And this is integer division. Okay, let's see the example. See, we have num1, okay, 11 minus 6, 11 to 6. Now 11 divisible by 6. Okay, so it is a float division. So this will give you the decimal part of the division. Okay, so we have 1 and then we have all the floating values after the point. Then integer division, like it will give you the non-decimal part only. Non-decimal part. So the non-decimal part we have only 1. So it will return only 1. So basically this is a float division and this is the integer division. Okay, mostly we use float division because integer division eats up the this decimal part. Okay, then we have modulus. Let's say num1 modulus num2. Let's say if we have print num1 exponent num2. This is known as exponent, which means power of. And this is known as modulus, which is known as, which will gives you the remainder part of the division. Remainder part. Let's run it. Okay, so exponent value means 11 6 times, basically, which means 11 num1, the value of num1 is 11 and then modulus num2 value 6. Okay, so which means 11 6 times 11 into 11. Okay, this is known as exponent, means 11 power of 6. So 11 6 times 1 2 3 4 5 6. So and then with the modulus. Modulus will give you the remainder part only. Let's say when you divide 11 by 6. So num1 means 11 modulus, sorry, 6. So this is not a percent sign, this is a modulus which will give you a remainder part. So when you divide 6 by 11, so 6 into 1, 6. So 11 minus 6, 5. So 5 will remain remaining. So it will return only the remainder part. Okay, let's say we have paid. Okay, suppose we have 11 divided by 6. Okay. Okay, so 11, 1. So we have 6. Then we can minus and then 5. Okay, so 5 will be remaining. So here it will return the remainder part, 5. Okay, so basically this is the remainder part of the of 11 modulus 6. So it will only return the remainder part. Okay, so these are modulus. Now, so we have seen plus, minus, multiplication, division, then we have integer division, then modulus, and then exponent. These are all known as arithmetic operators. These are known as arithmetic operators of Python. So in operators, first we have operators. We have operator and then we have operand. So operators like these are known as the operator part. Let's say we have an example like a plus b, or let's say 5 plus 5. So operator like plus is an operator here, and operands are a, b, or we can say that 5 and 5. So these are known as operand in Python, and these are known as operator. Okay. So and together these are known as arithmetic operators. Okay, so that's it for today. We will continue tomorrow with the other data types like list, dictionary, set, tuple, and fusion set. Thank you.